I took my wife down to the cliffs so we could have a sunset dinner. Grabbed a bowl of chili and just enjoyed the time. It was nice because we didn't have any cell service. So there was no scrolling, no game playing, just each other's company and the nice views. So I'll take you along this month as we get into all the different things of September. So next up is farm chores at one of the 3 farms I decided to volunteer at. Just horsing around, you know.
Oh.
After volunteering, we hit up another farm stand and got some delicious produce for the week. The next day, I thought it'd be a good idea to take Stitch to the park and get a little workout in and a little training session in. It was pretty good. He was a good boy for the most part. But then as the day progressed, I crashed out hard. I napped for like 4 hours. The day before really took a lot out of me. Then I decided to be a little productive and I made a slow cooker pot roast, or roast beef. And not gonna lie, it looks really cool, but it was definitely disappointment. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it's the roast that we use because they're really lean and there's not much fat on them. This was probably my 5th time attempting this, and I troubleshot it. I asked a bunch of other people who do roasts in the slow cooker, but the meat, nope, it was not good. It was not good at all. It was so dry. I tried doing it in sandwiches the next day. This morning I woke up feeling super under the weather, so I made myself some immunity tea. I took a spoonful of fermented garlic and honey. I'm not gonna lie, this has been fermenting for like years. And then I cuddled with my dog, rested, and did some sinus treatments to get this nastiness out of my system. While I baby this cold, another go-to is Gatorade. Lots of liquids and Gatorade. Resting on the couch, doing easy things like this macrame jar that's for the door. It's, spoiler alert, it's not going to be ready anytime soon. And then making sure that I am taking my meds, which the pile just never seems to get any better. Ever are congested with a head cold, boiling water, Vicks Vapor Rub. Just like that much, a tablespoon or so. Let it dissolve and melt. Ignore him. He just wants attention. Ooh, I can already smell it. After this, I'm calling it a night. And you just inhale it for 20 minutes. Little boys, do you miss your mama? Sorry. Hi, Key. I feel like shit. I don't know what day this is going on, but I am still sick. So I'm going to show you a tea I like to make myself. Throw in a bunch of mint, some lemon zest, a bunch of smashed ginger. Ginger, that's what that looks like, in case you didn't know. Half a lemon. I don't care if there's seeds in it because it's going in the French press, so it'll get squished up anyways. I'm just gonna slice this down a little, throw that in there. Add our boiling water. And then we're pretty much just gonna steep this for like 5 minutes and then press it, add some honey, and call it tea. I honestly can't tell you where the fuck I came up with this idea, but if you add a lot of ginger and lemon, it warms you up and makes you feel a little less shitty about yourself. Yeah. I don't know what I have. I know it's not the flu or COVID. It's probably just a sinus infection. So, everything's gonna be fine. This is gonna be a really boring vlog. I had so many volunteering opportunities this week that I had to cancel. I had to cancel Stitch's school. I had to cancel a couple doctor's appointments. Yay. Anyways, when the timer goes off, press this, pour this, mix it, shoot it down. Alright, bye. Another will go be Wednesday weigh-in. We'll just let this footage speak for itself. I went to a nursery and I got some things. I went to City Farmers Nursery and I got lavender and mint. Those are gonna grow on my balcony in this shade. And I don't really know what this plant is called, but I think it's pretty. I have an extra pot and it is going to live inside. It looks pretty healthy. Let's go outside and repot these. This afternoon, I basically went to the botanical gardens, the friendship gardens with my sister. We met up. It was really nice to catch up and spend time with her. She'd never been to the friendship garden of all of her years living here. So we got to hang out and do that. After, I went next door to the zoo and I checked out the elephants because I can. And really that's all that happened on this day. On this morning, we went to go get coffee at a local spot and some pastries and got a little off track on our nutritional plan. But the cool thing is that I noticed some weight loss. You can kind of tell in this picture right here. But then also the second coolest thing about this was that there were so many little performances in the square. So we sat down and we just watched them. It was so cute. Happy little accident, I guess you could say. I told my wife I wanted chocolate and flowers. And we went and we got chocolates and more chocolates. And then she built me some flowers. And as a bonus, I got house slippers and this cool ass water bottle holder. Has told me to go up to 1 milligram, but slowly over the next 8 weeks. So I went and I got my prescription filled and they wouldn't give it to me again. I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but every single time I try to fulfill this prescription, specifically insurance or the pharmacy or the doctor's office makes it very difficult to get it filled. I haven't had a consistent experience on getting my prescription. So I don't know what to do. I mean, I've already started it. So I feel like it'd be a little detrimental if I stopped going on it. But it's also frustrating to have to play a game of cat and mouse between my insurance company and the pharmacy and my doctor every time I need a new shot. So, yeah. This was my fear of going into it, was not being able to get it because of, this isn't a natural cause by any means, but like because of insurance. I didn't lose my insurance because I'm on my wife's, but for some reason it's very difficult to get it filled. Like at my usual pharmacy, my insurance doesn't cover it, but if I go to a different pharmacy, insurance does cover it. But the second time through, they want a prior authorization, and then my doctor gives that to them, and then the pharmacy says something's wrong with it. So, and I can't pay for it out of pocket. I don't have $1,600 for 4 fucking shots. That's ridiculous. Anyways, that's the end of my rant. We'll see what we take tomorrow. So, I really don't prefer going to the gym I have in my apartment complex. So, I made an investment to myself and bought some weights. See if I can assemble this, or maybe I'll make my wife do it. I think I can do it. I'm sure I can do it. I don't think I want to do it. But this stuff is in the way, so I have to do it. I have to leave the house and go do my own thing. This is interesting. All right, let's go time lapse and see what this all looks like. All right, it is Wagogi Wednesday, and I weighed in at a totally different time than I usually do, but I'm 184. I am 184.5. So I gained some weight this week, apparently. Whatever, I just had dinner, so it is what it is. I've decided, per my doctor's request, to go up to 1.5. No, to 0.5. I don't know how many weeks I've been doing this, but it's time. Total fatality. On this day, I took Nikki to the farm and I got her to volunteer with me. We scooped so much compost that day. Also, I think she enjoyed herself, but it was also really nice to show her where I escaped to. I didn't know where to stick this next clip, but it has been something I've been doing for the last year now. But recently I got a friend of mine to 3D print me some paper towel rolls. And here are some thrifted t-shirts and placemats cut down to size, and you just roll them on top of each other and use them as paper towels. Really, I just call them rags. It's kind of like what you use in a restaurant. Super economical, I think. It's August 20th, and I don't really have much to say other than, look at these curls. That, and I'm noticing some weight loss wins. Like, I can get my shoes on and off without huffing and puffing. I'm so excited for that. I know it's so dumb. But I also noticed I'm losing weight in other areas. And I'm not very pleased about it, but a loss is a loss, so that's good. Today the wife and I are going to PIFA. Have never gone. Have been in this city for like 15 years, 20 years. I don't know how many years, but gonna check that out. It is like 8:45 in the morning and we already had to park half a mile away because there's no parking. So I imagine it's gonna be very crowded, but it'll be fine. So I'm breaking my diet and definitely eating all the yummy things today. So come along and see what kind of treats I get myself into. The first thing up is this coconut mochi ube cake. It was my favorite. The cinnamon roll, second favorite. The chicken adobo and lumpia and pancit, it was mediocre. This mac salad, not good at all. But the spam musubi, fire. You know what else was fire? Oh, the sun and the shave ice. The shave ice was so good. Almost as good as the taron. It was very crowded, could barely see the stage, but overall, 10 out of 10, I will be going again next year. So PIFA was a lot of fun. I was out in the sun for a little bit too long. I've been home for a couple of hours and I just woke up from a nap. Got a headache and my hair looks like a mess, but it is what it is. I just wanted to show you guys what I got from PIFA. Other than all the food, it was so delicious. I think my favorite thing was the mochi bar, the coconut mochi bar. I say my head hurt. This didn't help. This is the hat I got. It's super wide brimmed. Does it look funny? I don't think it does. I think it's awesome. I might be having buyer's remorse, but whatever. I like it because I can have my hair up. I can't have my hair up right now though. I think I'm gonna wear it when I go volunteer on the farm because it's really wide brimmed, so it provides a lot of shade. And I can have my hair up in a high bun. And then I got 2 pairs of earrings. Hold on. It is what it is. I got 2 sets of earrings. These amethyst danglies. Danglies. Such a technical term. And then these little monasteras. Look. Focus. Focus. I don't think it's gonna focus. There we go. These little sparkly monasteras. I don't have any earrings, huh? I always just wear yours. No, I have my grandma earrings. Those are cute. Alright, that's all. Oh yeah, I did get one more thing. Hold on. This is what Nikki got. She got a Padres jersey. Is it 25 just for the year?
I think so.
I went to go fill it and there was rust at the bottom. So I'm gonna try replacing that. See if I can do it before the end of the month. Again, Monastera themed. And it's 40 ounces. But yeah, first year of PIFA, and 10 out of 10 if you're in the area. Would recommend. If you're not, sorry. But thanks for watching from afar. So I changed my shirt, I put on my new earrings, and I did a sinus rinse. We're gonna rally. Let's hope we don't break anything. It's kind of funny that I mentioned somebody breaking something because somebody in our party actually did end up breaking their ankle right at the beginning too. That sucked. But I was fine. I was on the sidelines eating snacks and videoing everybody. Even though I was on the sidelines, and watching everyone roll by. It was really cool because the music was really energetic and fun. Unfortunately, it's taken out of all of the clips, so you just get a voiced over me. But Nikki had a blast. Everybody had a blast. That guy in the background, he was super good. But yeah. So realistically, all I ate was half a donut and half of a quarter of an apple fritter. Remember I was talking about counting your blessings. I guess another way to put it is when others think about me, it makes me feel like I'm not forgotten. I know a lot of people can get stuck in their day-to-day routine of just going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home. But finding friendships as an adult is a little harder. And just being able to have them around and reach out is nice. It's nice to not be forgotten. As the weekend continued, we got some snacks at the Adams Avenue Fair. And then we saw some people. And then we had some more snacks. And then we saw some more people. And we got some treats, some earrings, some ornaments, some art. And then, we got more snacks. After going on a walk with my friend this morning, came back home and I took a nice long nap. And then Nikki came home from work. I was like, oh yeah, we're going to this festival. Was it a festival? A street fair? I think it was more like a street fair. So we went to the Adams Avenue Street Fair, a walkabout or whatever. It was like a giant market. It was pretty cool. They had so much good food. And then after, our friends came over and we did karaoke in the apartment. And now they're gone and my cup is full. So thankful for all of the shenanigans this weekend, and I'm interested to see what happens next week. So, get up. It's time to do farm chores. If you know, you know. You probably don't know. Anyways, it's raining. I don't really know if we're going to do anything this early, but I don't really have anybody's phone number, so I made the trek down here, and I guess I will just hang out in the car if it's not productive right now to do stuff. I don't know. Alright, bye. My first task this morning was to harvest the cherry tomatoes, which I figured this would be a good opportunity to show you the life of a tomato. It usually starts up as a bloom, and then the birds and the bees pollinate it, and then it becomes fruit, and it changes colors. Shocker. And they're delicious. So I just finished up at the farm. We had a lot of fun as per usual. However, I am exhausted. I don't know if I'll ever get the stamina back, but that is some seriously hard and manual labor. And this isn't even that big of a farm. But it definitely gives me an appreciation for where my food comes from and how much time and labor and resources go into play. But yeah, now I'm gonna go home and shower and be a potato for the rest of the day. So we made a side trip to the library, and I knew they were gonna start shutting down branches on Mondays, but I thought it wasn't going to happen until October. So I have like 3 books that are on hold that are finally here. But I came to pick them up and they're closed. They said, last time I came in, they said that because of our administrative staff, the library is going to be closed on Monday because funding got cut. That's wild. It's books. Books are education. Education is good, right? I don't know. Right, done. Thanks. Things that nobody in the world has ever asked for. In the mornings, I have a protein shake smoothie type deal. And this is how I make the process go a lot faster. Every week and a half, I pre-make the protein powder, collagen, flaxseed, and chia seed mix. So in the morning, when I'm making the dog's breakfast, I just pop everything in the blender. All I have to do is add my greens, my frozen berries, and my almond milk. That way, it's all ready to go. These jars were yogurt jars that we saved, and then I got these lids on Amazon. So, yeah. And they fit everything perfectly. Thanks for tuning in. That is my smoothie talk. Okay, today is Tuesday. I had a migraine, took it easy, I got to sleep in, and I have no appointments or anywhere to be, so I'm taking myself out on a date. I just finished at the library. I picked up a couple of cookbooks. Gonna see if I can find anything new to eat or make. I have what do you call it? I have like a picnic potluck on Friday, so I need to figure out what to make for that. I'm gonna just go sit in the park and do some reading and some planning and some manifesting. I really want to do a community garden down south, but I need to convince my wife. But maybe also just if I plan out a garden and when to start things, maybe she'll be a little more convinced. And then I might have lunch in the park. I might have lunch at the movies. Gonna go watch a movie after. And then, yeah, just enjoy some quality time with myself. So, let's go to the park. Okay, so after going through my box of seeds and cross-referencing what grows in my region at this time of year, I think I've narrowed down my fall garden. Only seeds I need to purchase or starts I need to purchase are basil, beets, carrots, cilantro, cauliflower, and raspberries. Raspberry bushes should be perennial, so I don't know, we'll see. But I'll show you what seeds I do. We're gonna start off with the flowers. Thinking of doing 2 different varieties of sweet peas, some marigolds, herbs, like I said, cilantro, basil, dill. Theoretically, I should be able to grow tomatoes throughout the winter here. So I have a 4-ounce tomato and a cherry tomato, 2 different varieties. Got broccoli, got snow peas, We got cabbage. And then bunching onions, because I'm not brave enough to do full bulbing onions. I've never had my own garden, but I would love to one day. And then going heavy on lettuces. We got arugula, kale, lettuce leaf mix, more lettuce leaf mix, big seeded. I have no idea what that tastes like. You can't get that in the grocery store, so we'll see. We'll see how that pans out. And then I think that's it. I really hope to manifest this garden idea, because I'm sick of growing gardens for everyone else. I would like my own. Tonight's dinner: roasted asparagus, lentils and rice, roasted chicken thigh. And for beverage is a honey sweetened mint tea. It is September 25th, and the weigh-in today on this Wednesday was 101.2. I took a walk around the lake with one of my friends, and we were so lucky we got to see the Blue Angels practicing for the air show this weekend. Then I went home and I made some pumpkin cupcakes. 25th. That means there's like 3 months till Christmas. Just kidding. Actually, I'm not really kidding about that. There really would be 3 months till Christmas. Join me in my working kitchen, aka my not. But I have to do this because I have a gathering with friends tomorrow and I'm making cupcakes. So they have to cool before I can ice them. So join me in my super messy kitchen as we make some cupcakes. So this recipe is a John Cannell recipe from my preppy kitchen. It's from this book, but I'm modifying the recipe. I am actually going to top the cupcakes with a streusel topping. So they typically just call for cream cheese frosting, but I want to garnish it. I don't want to use nuts, because I don't know if anybody there is allergic. So a streusel topping is like chef's kiss anyways. At this point, you're just sifting all your dry and lining your pans in an appropriate fashion. Some people like to be lazy. I'm not going to say who, but y'all like to be lazy and whisk all your dry together. That's not going to cut it with this recipe because there's brown sugar. You got to sift that bitch and sift it good. Also, you need to make sure your oven's preheated. If your oven's preheated, don't bother putting those cupcakes or loaves in the oven because it's not going to turn out right. And then if you're like me and you notice that you overfilled them a little, go ahead and at this point take some batter out of those cupcake molds because you don't want an explosion. Then that's just going to be a mess. And a little tip, take your bowl scraper, spray it down with some oil, and just do a straight line down the middle to get a nice perfect rise out of your loaf. Streusel is super easy to make. You cut in the fats with the flour and sugar, and then you just bake it off on a sheet pan, and then you wait for it to get nice and golden, and then you pull it out, you let it cool, and then once it cools, you can either crumble it by hand or you can blitz it in the food processor. I need this bowl, so I'm gonna do some dishes really quick, maybe a little tidy because it is messy in here, but yeah, my timer keeps going off for the cupcakes, so we're gonna check them. And I'm gonna hit you with a fun fact. If you do not have a cake tester, a thermometer works just fine. These are not done. These are not done at all. So these are gonna go back in for like 8 more minutes. Yeah, you don't need a real cake tester. Those are just kind of dumb. You can use a thermometer. You can use a skewer. You can use a wooden skewer. You can even use a metal skewer. I've used a chopstick before. It doesn't matter if it's a metal chopstick. I mean, you could use a plastic chopstick. Just don't let it sit in there too long. I used a wooden chopstick. I've used a fork. So, for the streusel. Super quick, super fast, super easy. You're going to do oats, sugar, brown sugar, all-purpose flour. The cupcakes are done again. I added a pinch of salt to the dry mixture, and now I am cubing the butter up into itty bitty teeny weeny tiny little cubes. Butter, dry ingredients, and then I'm literally, you can use a pastry cutter if you want, but again, I'm not a fan of unitaskers, so I just take the butter cubes and I pinch it between my finger and my thumb, and I get that flour worked in it, and that's it. And we're gonna throw this on a parchment lined baking sheet, and this is gonna go and get baked off till it's nice and golden brown. The loaf is still baking. It's probably got like another 15 to 20 minutes. That I'm probably gonna gift to like the maintenance dude or a neighbor. No, I'll probably give it to the maintenance people because they are so nice. Oh, I'm gonna add some pumpkin pie spice to this. Shake of pumpkin pie spice. Every like 8 minutes, I'll rotate the pan just to make sure that it gets an even browning on it. So I am baking it off on a half sheet pan. I could get away with baking it off on a quarter sheet pan, but then it would be a little more crowded and it would take a little bit longer to bake off. So give it its space, let it do its thing. I'm trying to disperse of the butter bits a little bit better. Another pro tip is to wash your pans. Wash your pans after you use them. And then if you're worried about them getting all rusty, this is the real trick. If you're worried about them getting rusty, you just throw them in the oven after you pull everything out. Well, I guess everything would already be there. Anyways, you know what I mean. So it is Friday the 26th. I have an appointment, an imaging appointment to get my liver looked at. Your girl has fatty liver disease and they want to see what the scar tissue looks like and how bad it is. I didn't realize last night when I ate that I was supposed to be fasting. And then I looked at my my doctor's notes, and it's like, oh, you have to fast by not eating and not drinking. I am dying of thirst right now. So I was like, there's no way in hell I can wait until 11:30. So I called and I begged them for an earlier appointment. So I have an appointment in an hour now. Hopefully I can stay away from my beverages. This is on deck for post-appointment. And yeah, we'll make cupcakes shortly after. Okay, headed back from an hour and a half long doctor's appointment. Walking away with snazzy hospital band. Chop that off when I get home. So the plan when I get home is to do some cleaning, quick deep cleans of some things, and eat and finish up the cupcakes. Also going to try squeezing in a bank run, 2 bank runs, because I need to finish the budget. Alright, see you in the kitchen. We're back in the kitchen. We're making icing, cream cheese frosting. Fun fact, you always want to cream your butter until it's nice and fluffy, and then add room temperature cream cheese. If you add everything together, you will have chunks. Let's get mixing. Like I said, whip the shit out of the butter, take your room temperature cream cheese, and slowly add it in bit by bit. Once everything is nice and combined, you will need to sift your powdered sugar and then add it in. I like to scrape down the paddle attachment in the bottom before I mix it on its first mix. And then once everything incorporates, I scrape the bowl again, and then again, and then again. All right, so I'm going to put the trashes away in the mixer, and then we will get to decorating. So I have my streusel topping. Once it baked off, and cooled, I just put it in a container for storage. I should have just put it in a Ziploc. You can get out your food processor and blitz the shit out of this to get like a good, nice crumbly texture. But I don't want to dirty any more dishes. So Ziploc bag and a rolling towel. Just a nice little I am icing these with a star tip, just in a simple rosette pattern. Looking back, I would definitely do half of what I put on there. The ratio of cupcake to icing was not that great. I'm also crusting just the edge of the cupcake. I'm gonna do a little taste test. A tiny little tasty taster piece. Ta-da! It's not bad. Not very pumpkin-y. I think I would up the pumpkin. But the spices are... Frosting is good. Crunchy from the streusel is good. I think I would just add more pumpkin though. So, alright. I'm gonna go give away the treats and do some chores and go to the picnic. So that was September. Lots of activitying. It was fun. It was nice, but now we gotta get back on track. Gotta get back on budgeting. Gotta get back on sticking to the nutrition plan. But definitely a lot of good memories. And like my wild hair, I got a headache. That means I can't put my hair up. But yeah, if you made it this far in the video, why did you stick around for 45 minutes and watch me ramble? All right, I appreciate you, and I will see you next time. Bye. Bye-bye.